Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I'm going to show you footage from this week's daily race A for the week commencing Monday the 13th of June 2022. And this is a bit of a special one because I believe this is the first sort of rally race we've had in Gran Turismo 7 as, you know, one of the daily races. I don't think there's been one previously, unless I've just missed it when I've been away or, you know, something like that. But I don't actually recall seeing a full dirt race. So the car we're going to be using is the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution Final Edition 2015. As you can see, you can buy it for 60k in the Mitsubishi dealer, or you can rent it. Personally, I'd recommend, you know, buying the car yourself. There's no reason why you shouldn't. It's pretty cheap and it's actually a really fun car to use, and it's definitely very controllable on the dirt, just like it should be really. So I started this race with no qualifying time, basically just jumped straight in and wanted to sort of work my way up through the grid. That is when, for me, GT7 is at its best. I'm not a massive fan, you know, of consistently qualifying throughout the week, because it will get to the point where I'm near the front of the grid and it gets quite predictable throughout, as a lot of you may know. I do kind of wish there was an option to sort of reset your qualifying, you know, any time during the week. It'd be pretty awesome. So I mean, we could go in, win a few races, and then, you know, maybe just, you know, delete that qualifying time and sort of, you know, start from the back and, you know, try and work our way up. As you can see, we're coming to this a bit of a nightmare of a corner really, and I think about 3 cars went off. So far we've got obviously a better start at the start, moved up 1 and then moved up another 3. That's put us in P8 as we work our way around a lap 1. Another car spinning there, so that's P7. So nearly halfway up the grid within, you know, about 3/4 of a lap. Is there any really hints and tips I can give you? I wouldn't say there's many. You know, just the usual. Definitely run a manual transmission. Trust me, it will 100% improve your time over the automatic, because the automatic transmission in this game is horrendous. Really not a huge fan of that. As for sort of the jumps and bumps, I know they've sort of gone back and improved the dirt physics sort of over time with Gran Turismo 7. I know when it first launched, basically as soon as you hit a bit of a jump, the car would just bottom out and then sort of roll and fly everywhere. It was absolutely horrendous. This car is definitely very controllable over the bumps, but if you feel like it's going to be, you know, a bit of a rough landing, just let off the throttle a little bit. It does seem to sort of pad out your landing, and it should sort of, you know, make you a little bit more stable on landing and keep you pointing in the right direction. I didn't really struggle too much with the track. I mean, I have sort of done the circuit experience and I've raced on here you know, enough times to sort of know the layout. So I mean, that was kind of predictable. I'm sure many people know what they're doing with this track. You know, the game's like, what, 3 months old at this point. So, and this track, I believe, was even in GT Sport. I can't quite remember. That just feels like years ago now. When it wasn't even really that long ago. GT Sport was still, you know, pretty relevant. It still kind of is, I guess. So yeah, another thing to note is your driver rating and your safety rating isn't affected in this race, which is kind of a good thing, because it's just, you know, a little bit chaotic. There is quite a lot of, I'd say, bumping, and, you know, sometimes you'll overhit and, you know, maybe hit the wall a little bit. So I'm kind of glad that's not a thing. As you can see, that guy just coming straight through and just basically sending me off into the, well, I guess it's just a little fence really. But yeah, luckily that's not affected, because I mean, these dirt cars are a lot more predictable than unpredictable than sort of the road cars. Accidents do happen, but then again, you do get some people that will purposely just go out the way to sort of end your race there and then, try and put you to the back of the grid, etc. I mean, you get them in, I mean, there's usually always one in every couple of lobbies or so. It's just an absolute pain. It's just one of them things with Gran Turismo. It does make you wonder about the system they have in place. I think it should be sort of a lot more I'd say, flexible in the way that it should 100% get affected race to race, not just after a couple of races. I mean, I think my current driver rating, I've been there since like day one and not moved at all. I am an S safety rating, and I believe either an A or a B driver, I can't quite remember. But I remember at one point it'd sort of fluctuate when I'd left the game a while and then came back, obviously with not playing like, well, this was about GT Sport really. I left for a couple of years, and when I came back my driver rating dropped because obviously I wasn't used to the game, but it just seems to not really move in Gran Turismo 7. I know a lot of people, you know, on my friends list and such, have just not moved since day one. So you guys may be better clued up to me. Can you actually still improve driver rating? And does anyone know really why it gets stuck where it is for so long, even if you're putting in constant first places and, you know, high up the grid, doing a lot of overtakes, etc. I do think they kind of need to look into that system, because obviously, like I said, a lot of dirty drivers getting through into S lobbies, and it does puzzle you because they seem to sort of stick around, even though race in, race out, they're doing the same sort of dirty tactics, getting penalties and such. So anyway, on to the last part of the race. So obviously, as you can see, it's a 4-lap event, so it's actually not too long. It's around about, I'd say about 6 minutes or just under. Obviously great fun. I mean, I really did enjoy this, and I feel like I will keep going back to this event. But yeah, as you can see, we're just going to hold off taking P4 in the last couple of corners. So P12 to P4, not a bad run really. If you like this kind of content, I mean, this kind of content each and every day, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you honestly so much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Cheers guys.